Washington now has its eye on the Reddit GameStop and Robinhood saga that unfolded on Wall Street this week that we've been talking about nonstop. Congress is stepping in on Thursday. U.S. Representative Maxine Waters, chairwoman of the House Financial Services Committee, announced she will hold a hearing on recent stock trading in GameStop, and other stocks that have experienced dramatic swings attributed to social media-driven trading. Joining us now, Representative Ritchie Torres, who was recently appointed to the House Committee on Financial Services. Such a privilege to have you back, sir. Thank you so much for your time. So, Congressman, what do you hope this hearing plans to accomplish?
So the trading frenzy surrounding GameStop raises two policy concerns. First, we have to see to it that the stock market is properly regulated so that it functions not like a casino, but like a fair marketplace, a stable marketplace. Second, we have to see to it that the rights of retail investors are protected from trading platforms like Robinhood. I was alarmed by Robinhood's decision to restrict the trading of retail investors. It seems to me it's wrong to rewrite the rules in the middle of the game or shut down the game simply because you disapprove of the outcome. I suspect what Robinhood did caused an enormous amount of financial harm to an enormous number of their customers, and there should be an investigation and if necessary, consequences.
As you know here, Congressman, this has been playing out for a week now. What was the tipping point for the committee? At what point did you, Congresswoman Waters, and other lawmakers feel the need to step in?
It's an unprecedented situation, and as far as I'm concerned, the Reddit investors held up a mirror to the absurdity of the stock market. The stock market has descended into nothing more than a glorified casino, and the gambling on that casino has no productive value to the American economy. It does nothing to strengthen American workers and American businesses. It's pure gamesmanship that siphons resources away from more productive uses in our economy. And it underscores the need for much stronger regulation. Since the Reagan administration, the SEC has been an absentee regulator, leaving the market wide open to manipulation. And market manipulation causes the stock price to rise and fall dramatically, even though the company itself is performing no differently. The stock price is often disconnected from the underlying value of the company, and the stock market itself has become dangerously disconnected from the overall health of the American economy.
The Wall Street Bets subreddit has gone to 6 million members. I think it was 2 million last week. That's pretty hefty, and there are millions of other retail investors out there. How will you be able to regulate trade on Wall Street? Doesn't seem like an easy task.
Well, it's better to try and fail than to not try at all. And as far as I can tell, there's not even an attempt by the SEC. The SEC has no rules, no clear rules of governing market manipulation. I know the hedge funds are furious with what the Reddit investors did because no one loves to be beaten at their own game. But I think you cannot say that it's right for hedge funds to artificially drive down the price of a stock and then say it's wrong for these retail investors to artificially drive up the price of the stock. There needs to be one set of rules against market manipulation that applies to investors of all sizes, big and small. And that burden falls on the shoulders of the SEC.
Do you agree with our last guest, Michael Patcher, that the Wall Street Bets Forum was not market manipulation? How do you regulate a forum like that?
Look, I mean, I would perceive it as market manipulation because it was artificially inflating the stock price far beyond the actual value of the company. And it creates instability for the market. It creates instability for investors and companies. But again, I don't blame the Reddit investors. I ultimately blame the short sellers. There would be no short squeeze without the short selling. And the SEA has to play a much more aggressive role in regulating short selling, in regulating speculation, in reining in every form of market manipulation.
Today, the SEC says it will work to protect investors by reviewing recent trading volatility. Yesterday, they were saying they were monitoring the situation. How will your committee work with the SEC in enforcing these practices?
Look, our goal is to hold up. First, we want there to be an investigation into Robinhood, because I'm convinced that what Robinhood did undermines public confidence that the marketplace, that the stock market is a fair marketplace, a level playing field. But we have to pressure the SEC to create clear rules against market manipulation, and we have to apply them across the board. There needs to be, I think for far too long, the stock market has operated as a casino that adds no real productive value to the American economy, and we have to rethink the functioning of the stock market.
I was talking to my colleague Brad about this a moment ago. Robinhood wasn't alone in halting activity. We know E-Trade and Ameritrade were complicit as well, but because they're privately owned platforms, are there different rules in play when it comes to companies like that one, like those?
As far as I'm concerned, the same rules should apply. And I think we in Congress have to think deeply about how do we protect the rights of retail investors in relation to all trading platforms, including but not limited to Robinhood. So again, this is uncharted territory. It's raising policy questions that we've never had to fully grapple with. And this is going to be an issue that the committee is going to study intensively in the weeks and months to come.
So you're in the Bronx, you're from the Bronx. I grew up in the inner city of Queens. Do you think we should ramp up focus when it comes to financial literacy in schools?
Without question. You cannot take for granted that people have the financial literacy to manage their income effectively. It's one of the most important life skills that any one of us can develop. And it's not enough for us to get a job to earn income. We have to manage our income. We have to build wealth. And that requires financial empowerment and financial literacy. And we should be teaching that in the most formative years of life, in elementary school, in junior high school, in high school. It should be woven into the fabric of our curriculum.
Again, a privilege to talk to you, U.S. Representative Ritchie Torres from New York. Thank you again, sir.